What if everything Rip thought he understood about the war against the ranch was only the beginning? What if the enemy wasn't just watching, but waiting? And what if the biggest threat to the Dutton Ranch isn't outside the gates, but already moving in the shadows? Episode 6 left fans with one terrifying realization: the ranch is no longer dealing with ordinary enemies. The attacks are becoming smarter, more calculated, more personal. And now, Rip Wheeler may be about to uncover something far worse than anyone imagined. Because according to new theories surrounding Episode 7, Rip stumbles onto a discovery so dangerous, it changes everything. A hidden operation. A shocking betrayal. And a powerful enemy with connections no one saw coming. But here's the terrifying part: by the time Rip realizes what's happening, it may already be too late. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, do you think Rip can protect the ranch this time, or is the Dutton family finally outmatched? Now let's get into it. The episode opens before sunrise. The ranch is unusually quiet. Too quiet. Rip stands outside the bunkhouse, coffee in hand, scanning the distance. Something doesn't feel right. For weeks, pressure has been building around the ranch. Strange activity. Missing supplies. Suspicious movement near the property line. At first, Rip dismissed most of it. Trespassers. Local troublemakers. Business pressure. Nothing he couldn't handle. But after the events of Episode 6, something changed. Beth warned him. Someone isn't just threatening them anymore. Someone is preparing something. And Beth? She looked genuinely afraid. That alone is enough to unsettle Rip, because Beth Dutton doesn't scare easily. Rip walks toward the horse barn, checking on the crew. Everyone seems normal. But something catches his attention. One ranch hand suddenly goes quiet when Rip walks in. Too quiet. Rip notices a nervous glance. A quick look exchanged. Then silence. And in the world Rip understands, silence usually means trouble. He says nothing. But he remembers. Because Rip Wheeler never ignores instinct. Never. Later that morning, Rip rides along the northern fence line. And that's when he sees it. Fresh tire tracks. Heavy ones. Not ranch vehicles. Not familiar, and definitely recent. He climbs off the horse and kneels beside the dirt. Someone has been here. Recently. Watching. Maybe scouting. Rip's expression changes instantly. Because these aren't random tracks. Whoever came here knew exactly where to stop. Exactly where to look. Like they were studying the ranch. Learning it. Mapping weaknesses. Rip quietly says one sentence: "This isn't random." And suddenly, the danger becomes real. Meanwhile, Beth is already digging into something much darker. She receives information from a source she doesn't fully trust. Financial records. Shell companies. Land purchases. At first glance, nothing unusual. But then she notices a pattern. Properties near Dutton Land are quietly changing ownership. One after another. Nobody noticed because they were purchased under fake names. Hidden companies. Invisible buyers. Beth freezes. Because this isn't ordinary land grabbing. This looks organized. Strategic. Planned years in advance. And suddenly, a terrifying thought hits her. What if someone has been planning to destroy the ranch for a long time? Not months. Years. Maybe even longer. She immediately calls Rip. But he doesn't answer. He's already riding deeper into danger. Near the western property edge, Rip spots something unusual. A gate. Half open. That should never happen. Not here. Not ever. He approaches carefully. Hand near his belt. Eyes scanning everything. Then he sees it. A dead animal placed near the entrance. Deliberately. Like a message. Like a warning. Rip's jaw tightens. This isn't vandalism. This isn't intimidation. This is psychological warfare. Someone wants fear. Someone wants the ranch uncomfortable. And whoever did this knows exactly how Rip thinks. That means one terrifying possibility: the enemy knows them personally. Rip immediately calls Lloyd. Tells him to tighten security. Nobody moves alone anymore. Nobody. Because something bigger is happening. And Rip can feel it. He just doesn't know how bad it really is. Yet. But what Rip discovers next changes everything. Because hidden deep near the ranch boundary, he finds proof that someone may already be inside the Dutton operation. Someone feeding information. Someone helping the enemy. And if Rip is right, the ranch may already be compromised. Just when Rip thought the ranch was facing another outside threat, he realizes something worse may already be happening. Because enemies outside the ranch. Rip knows how to deal with those. But enemies hiding inside. That changes everything. The sun begins to set over the ranch. But Rip isn't thinking about the view. His mind keeps replaying everything. The tire tracks. The strange silence from the ranch hands. The gate was left open. The warning left behind. None of it feels random anymore. And Rip has learned something over the years. When too many strange things happen at once, somebody is usually helping from the inside. He heads back toward the bunkhouse. Quiet. Observing. Watching everyone. Nobody notices him at first. The crew is joking around. Laughing. Acting normal. Too normal. Then Rip sees something strange. One ranch hand suddenly steps away after checking his phone. Looks nervous. Keeps glancing over his shoulder. Rip follows from a distance. No words. No confrontation. Just instinct. The ranch hand walks farther away. Near the equipment shed. Looks around. Then makes a call. Rip stays hidden. Listening. He can't hear everything. But he catches enough. One sentence stops him cold. Yeah, tomorrow night. Same route. Rip's face changes instantly, before Rip can move closer. The ranch hand hangs up. Turns. And freezes. Because Rip Wheeler is standing there. Silent. Expression unreadable. The ranch hand panics. Rip. I can explain. But Rip says nothing. Just one question. Cold. Direct. Who were you talking to? The man hesitates. And hesitation. That tells Rip everything. Meanwhile. Beth hasn't stopped digging. She sits in her office surrounded by files. Coffee gone cold. Laptop open. Eyes locked in. And then. She finds a name. A company connected to multiple land purchases near the ranch. At first it means nothing, but after digging deeper. Her blood runs cold. Because the company isn't independent. It's connected to a powerful investor group with one goal: acquire land. Destroy resistance. Control entire regions. Beth whispers to herself, this isn't about the ranch anymore. Because suddenly. She realizes something terrifying. The Dutton Ranch isn't the target. It's the obstacle. Someone bigger wants everything around it. And Rip? He's walking straight into danger without knowing how powerful this enemy really is. Beth grabs her phone immediately. This time. Rip answers. She doesn't waste time. Rip, this is bigger than we thought. And for the first time, Rip sounds worried. Because Beth almost never says that. Night falls. Rip can't sleep. Something feels wrong. So he rides back to where he found the tire tracks. Alone. Armed. Silent. And that's when he sees it. A faint light in the distance. Movement. Someone near the property line. Rip gets closer. Careful not to make a sound. Then. He spots them. 2 men. A truck. And maps spread across the hood. Maps of the ranch. Every entrance. Every road. Every weak point. Rip's breathing slows. Because now he knows. This isn't random. This isn't intimidation. This is preparation. Preparation for something big. Something dangerous. Then he hears words that change everything. One man says, "Tomorrow night, we move." Rip freezes. Tomorrow night? Move on to what? The ranch? Beth? The cattle? Or something even worse? But before he can get closer, a branch snaps under his boot. The men turn instantly. Flashlights swing toward him. And one voice suddenly shouts. Because now he knows. This isn't random. This isn't intimidation. This is preparation. Preparation for something big. Something dangerous. Then he hears words that change everything. One man says, "Tomorrow night, we move." Rip freezes. Tomorrow night? Move on to what? The ranch? Beth? The cattle? Or something even worse? But before he can get closer, a branch snaps under his boot. The men turn instantly. Flashlights swing toward him. And one voice suddenly shouts. Rip reaches for his weapon. Engines roar to life. The truck speeds forward. Straight toward him. And suddenly, Rip realizes the threat is far bigger than he ever imagined. Because these men weren't scouting, just moments ago. Rip discovered something terrifying. Armed strangers. Maps of the ranch. A plan already in motion. And now, they know he found them. The truck tears across the dirt road. Headlights blazing. Straight at Rip. But Rip Wheeler doesn't panic. He moves. Fast. His horse bolts to the side as the truck skids through the fence line. Dust explodes everywhere. The sound echoes across the hills. Rip hits the ground hard. But he's already back on his feet. Watching. Calculating. Because something feels off. Too easy. Too loud. Almost like a distraction. And then it hits him. If these guys wanted him dead, they would have taken the shot already. No. This is meant to pull him away. Away from the ranch. Rip grabs his phone immediately. Calls Lloyd. No answer. Calls again. Nothing. Then finally. A voice. Breathing hard. Panicked. Rip, something's happening back here. Rip freezes. What happened? Silence. Then. A sentence that changes everything. Somebody cut the power. Back at the ranch. Darkness. Complete darkness. The floodlights are dead. Security systems gone. Animals are restless. The bunkhouse is tense. Nobody knows what's happening, and that's exactly what the enemy wanted. Confusion. Fear. Movement. Beth steps outside. Immediately sensing something is wrong. She hears horses reacting. Men shouting in the distance. Then. Headlights. Far off near the storage barns. Vehicles that shouldn't be there. Beth's expression changes instantly. This isn't coincidence. This is coordinated. She grabs her phone. Calls Rip again. This time. He answers. Breathing heavily. Voice cold. Beth, get inside. Lock every door. She pauses. Because Rip almost never sounds afraid. But tonight. He does. And that scares her. Rip races back toward the ranch. Faster than he's ridden in years. His instincts are screaming. Something is wrong. Something much worse than theft. Then. Halfway back. He sees someone waiting near the old fence road. One of the ranch hands. The same man from earlier. Standing beside a truck. Talking to strangers. Rip stops cold. Now he knows. The ranch was sold out. The inside information. The schedules. The weak points. The security gaps. Somebody handed it over. And the betrayal was sitting right in front of him. Rip steps off the horse slowly. Silent. Dead calm. The ranch hand turns, and immediately knows he's caught. Rip, listen, it ain't what it looks like. Rip cuts him off. One sentence. Quiet. Dangerous. You sold out the family. The man stumbles over his words. Claims it was money. Claims he had no choice. Claims he never meant for anybody to get hurt. But Rip? Rip doesn't care. Because around here. You don't betray the ranch. Ever. Meanwhile. Beth is still inside the house. Power flickering. Phone in hand. Trying to piece everything together. And then. She notices something strange. One file she missed earlier.